So a lot of us find money on the ground and think it is our lucky day, whether it's $5, $10, $20, shit, $50. But 65-year-old Betty Smith found $50 on the ground and it became her worst nightmare. She did her regular run at a convenience store in Industry, Texas, and this became one of the worst experiences in her life.
I mean, they just jumped all over me and choked me in.
Surrounded today by Houston-based activists.
This county has to stand up and do what is right.
And I said, well, look at here. I said, my lucky day.
But that quickly changed when she says a trio of store employees prevented her from leaving, locking the door before, as you can see in this footage, things turned physical, including after it appears Smith also made a motion toward an employee.
She was spitting all in my face, and I said, spit, please, don't come out of my mouth. I was too scared to spit it in her face.
I'm told Smith's daughter was arrested after showing up on the scene and allegedly assaulting one of the employees, none of whom have been charged, although the store tells me it fired them immediately.
When you turn around and step on one of us, we all come.
This crowd gathered outside the Austin County Courthouse in Belleville demand action by the DA's office. It is carefully reviewing offense reports, statements, and video, and that, quote, this remains an ongoing investigation. Grocery store offered to help her with bond money and to let her keep that $50 bill, but she declined. She says she's also considering civil action.
The deputy cuffs her granddaughter while her special needs son waited in the car.
I'm 65 years old and I ain't never been to jail in my life. See, I don't like my name and that kind of stuff. I saw a $50 bill on him. I told the cashier, I said, look at him, my lucky day.
The cash might belong to a friend of theirs and demanded her to leave it there. She was the only customer in the store. As Ms. Smith tried to leave with it, video shows her being stopped by 3 of the store employees. One of them rips the money out of her hands. She's then shoved and restrained.
Especially scared of the one in the pink, because she had me around my neck and was she strong. You black, you're not getting out of here.
This officer came, one of the girls slid out of the door. And I said, get out of the front of the door, let her out of here.
Destiny, seen in her bathrobe, gets handcuffed by the responding deputy. He also later arrests Destiny's mother, who showed up minutes later and was charged with assaulting one of the clerks. The family says the deputy never took statements from them or tried to de-escalate the matter. The store owner has tried to rectify the situation, offering to pay her daughter's bail, even giving her the $50. She declined those offers. All 3 of the clerks are fired, but the family wants them arrested.
Why would they do this to her? Why would they think it was okay to take it that far? Every thought process in there, from locking her in there, assaulting her, the words they use, the racial slurs, I just would want to know why.
Miss Betty Smith was making a quick trip to a convenience store in Austin County. The senior citizen found herself in a headlock. These were young people who were ready to show, and forgive me once again for saying this thieving woman who was in charge, letting her know they were in charge. Here's how it started. Mrs. Smith says she spotted a $50 bill on the floor in Industry, Texas. So she picked it up, like we all would do. And moments later, all hell broke loose. Workers ran around her and locked the door to the store so she couldn't leave. She, once again, was even put in a headlock. All 3 workers have been fired. But Smith and her family say it's not enough. They say they want charges brought against the workers. And they're also upset with how the sheriff's office handled and responded to the situation without trying to figure out what was going on in the video. And if you watch the video, you see a deputy pull up and then go straight for the black woman without even asking questions or investigating.
I've been in industry all my life. I went into the store. I said, oops. I said, my lucky day. I said, I found a $50 bill. And she told me, she said, I'm the manager, and you're going to have to give it to me. It was just laying there in the opening, and I picked it up.
Where you lash at someone, and what happened? Tell us about that. But they were all on you, right?
Yeah, I couldn't get it loose. I was scared. I was terrified. Ooh, that girl in the pink just had me double. And she was all up in my ear, all close in my face, spitting all in my face, and I was too scared to spit back. Look at her.
She literally was in the car with, I believe it was her son or her grandson. I'm not sure which one it was, but he did happen to have special needs. She thought that she could run in the store really quick, get some ice cream, and run right back out. However, her, upon being in the store, she found $50 on the ground, and she told the clerk, like, hey, found $50. Shit, must be my lucky day. The clerk was like, oh, you know, it must have been the last person's transaction. You know, you're gonna have to give it back. And she's like, oh, you know, no, I don't. Yeah, you do. And even though there's lots of footage kind of capturing this conversation, some of the footage doesn't have sound because some of the surveillance footage doesn't necessarily have sound at certain angles or doesn't capture sound unless certain motion is picked up. So at some point of the conversation, it does get a little nasty because at some point the clerk behind the counter starts to catch a very nasty attitude with Betty. And Betty responds, you know, don't talk to an elderly woman like that. And the clerk responds, I don't give a fuck how old you are. If you guys paid attention to the clips in the beginning and have seen this viral video, you guys kind of already know what comes next. It gets to a point where two other people working at the store get involved. They lock the doors. They do not let Betty get out. And on top of that, they put Betty in an entire chokehold over $50. Now, a lot of you guys are probably thinking what a lot of people were thinking when they saw this video the first time. We are literally about to get antsy over $50. That's not even ours. We're literally about to potentially take somebody's life over money. Like literally, like is it really that serious? Oh no, it gets worse, okay? It gets worse. Words are exchanged. Woman's in a chokehold. She's literally over 65 years old. And what makes this so heartbreaking is Betty is battling cancer. She has a child with special needs in the car, and she's also diabetic. And putting her under this amount of stress when she's also elderly is just a recipe for disaster, okay? So some way, somehow, she is able to contact family, and her daughter and her granddaughter come down to the store. Some way, somehow, they make it to the store, but this is to no avail. They are not opening these doors, okay? Which at this point, I think this is considered kidnapping. Yeah, this is considered kidnapping, okay? They close the doors. They are not opening these doors. They are not trying to hear anything that the daughter or the granddaughter is saying. And at this point, police are called, ladies and gentlemen. And what's really interesting about this is I did watch the Fox interview with Betty, and Betty said she didn't even call 911. Betty herself said she called 911, but one of the clerks, one of the associates that worked in the store actually personally called her friend that was a cop. And that cop that came that was literally of no help was actually someone that personally knew these people in the store. And that is probably the reason why he was being so biased and was absolutely of no help to them. If you guys are not aware, this cop arrested Betty's daughter and granddaughter without hearing anything from them, did not hear their side of the story, did not try to gauge what was going on in the situation, just automatically thought, oh my God, look at these knackers. It must be their fault. Arrested them and put Betty in handcuffs as well, and did not do anything to the associates in the store. Mind you, Betty's daughter and granddaughter did absolutely nothing in this situation in terms of being aggressive to the associates. However, some way, somehow, the officer said that he saw her being aggressive, and that was not the case whatsoever. Fast forward, the owner of this convenience store apologized and offered Betty the $50 for all her troubles. What the fuck is $50 about to do? Now, let me stop yelling because I already don't have a voice. If you guys can't tell, I lost my voice at Black TikTok's Black History event like literally a couple days ago, so I'm slowly getting it back. I also broke a nail. So like I'm trying to get it together, but let me stop yelling. But let me just use the little bit of voice that I have left to voice my fucking anger. What the fuck is $50 about to fucking do? These people. First of all, this is why, okay? And I'm about to literally do some fucking story times about LA too, because listen, I love the people I met in LA, okay? I love TikTokers. It's funny enough, I hate the TikTok platform because I feel like they don't treat people properly, and I absolutely hate LA because I feel like there's too much racism there. However, I love a lot of the black people that I meet in LA, and I love black TikTokers. I love TikTokers in general, like like TikTok people are some of the best people I ever met on social media. Instagrammers are hit or miss. YouTubers, y'all already know I hate YouTubers, right? But it's like there's just something about people on the West Coast that I just don't like. There's something about white people from the South that I just can't fucking stand. And I'm gonna be doing some story times about like my LA experience recently, because there's no reason that I had 3 fucking racist experiences in LA and I was only there for 3 days. It was literally like 1 racist experience for each freaking day. Like, I just personally can't be a black person living in any of those places. I can't live in the South and I can't live in the West, because literally I'd be catching a charge. I'd end up being a fucking hashtag. Like, I just can't. Make it make sense. First of all, the only good thing they did, okay, was the fact that the convenience store did fire these people, as you fucking should. But why have they not been charged? Why was anyone other than them in handcuffs? It's the racism for me. And people sit there and they're like, oh, racism doesn't exist. That's not a thing anymore. People are no longer racist. That's a thing of the past. Equality for all. Well, you can go to school, right? Well, you have equal opportunity, huh? Well, you could go outside in peace. Shut the fuck up. That is not the point. There's still so many people out there that do not have equal opportunity, that literally can go in a convenience store and get put in a chokehold over fucking $50 and then get put into handcuffs over it. It's the lack of fucking common sense for me. It's the privilege of being able to utter those words for me. It's literally like, it just doesn't fucking make sense to me. Like, I understand that so many people have not experienced racism, prejudice, colorism, whatever the case may be. Like, I get that, because there's certain things I haven't experienced up to a certain point, but I would never sit there and be like, oh, well, this thing does not happen. This is not real because I haven't experienced it, so that means that it's not real, and other people that are saying this thing are clearly delusional. I would never sit there and do that, because I know that I don't represent every fucking nigga. Like, it fucking blows my mind. And what makes this whole situation worse is they really sat here, like the DA really sat here and thought about bringing this whole damn situation to court. Okay, they really sat here, were like, oh, you know, we could bring this to court because there is a Texas law that does acknowledge that anyone that takes something that is not theirs with the knowledge of knowing that it can be returned to its original owner, this can actually be brought to court. But luckily the grand jury did dismiss this as a possibility. Thank fucking God, because DA, are you fucking stupid? Like, this shit, I could never live in somebody Texas. As much as I love Texas, like I love going to Houston, I love going to Austin, and I really do want to visit Dallas, I can't, because it's shit like this, you know, like a beautiful place, great, howdy how, love the people, but I can't. The systematics over there just don't make sense. Like, the lady found the fucking $50 on the ground. People find money on the ground all damn day. You got to be fucking kidding me. The fact that it was even a possible thought. The lady got choke held over it. She had an arm around her neck. It's the fact that the man joined in on this. It's the fact that there was an entire man there that thought it was okay to join in on this assault and put his arm around her neck to restrain her from leaving the store after the doors was already locked, to stop this elderly woman from leaving the store. It just goes to show that these people see us as a threat no matter what we do, no matter how we do it, no matter how quiet we are, no matter how loud we are, no matter how submissive we are. Yo, we could be minding our own damn business, and some way, somehow, oh, we must put these motherfuckers in a chokehold, either in theory or physically. It's just fucking sick, okay? And I really hope that these people press charges. I hope that that officer is brought to justice. They do not need to be a police officer if they're going to be out here doing people's bidding on a personal tip. Now, personally, I do not know how true it is that, you know, that clerk really did call up her friend on some shit, because Betty did say that she called the cops on her own, but she said that she was also calling out the cops at the same time, and it looked like her friend came before whatever. So we'll see. I would love to see how this ends out. I believe yesterday, so I'm filming this on March 1st, I believe yesterday they did say that they were having some sort of protest, and lately people have been picketing that store, which, as the fuck you should, because I need to understand how you're sitting here offering this lady fucking $50. I do believe the store did pay for any fees associated with their arrest, but it's like, I think you need to also be out there protesting. I think you also need to try to make sure that that cop is no longer a cop. I think you also need to be putting out some sort of statement, because I want to know what happened to these people. Like, are they not gonna make a statement? Like, I want to hear from them. Like, I was really gonna wait until like they came out. Like, I wanted to see if one of the clerks would have came come out, said something, put out a statement and been like, oh, it's not what you think. She called us crackers. Like, listen, I wanted to know, bitch. Cause like sometimes I like to see the full story come out and then I'm like, okay, so this, that, and that. But didn't happen. So very interesting stuff, guys. Let me know what you guys think about this down below. I'm not even about to sit here and be like, do you guys think that she should have took the fucking $50 or not? Or do you guys think that these people were wrong for choke holding her and basically keeping her hostage? Because I really think that if you would think that that was right, I don't know, there must be something wrong with you. But just let me know what you guys think about this overall situation down below. It's just very hard to believe that it's 2023 and people think that there's something okay with this at all. With that being said, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, do all that, and I'm gonna see y'all next time. Bye.